Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Embracing the Journey featuring Joshua King, your host with the most, representative of Black Dragon Gaming, the one-stop place for Pathfinder 1st and 2nd Edition lore, knowledge, min-maxing for fun and profit, Forgotten Race review, and Final Fantasy D20 Heralds of Dawn, which is the game that I am in as the Lizard Wizard, the Reptile of Power. But for right now, we've got a lot of power in Magic Arena, and we're going to just put it on display for our opponent here. We're going to pay the 2 life. We're going to go look at their hand, and we're going to get rid of some nasties. Swanked nutting, huh? Okay. So, yeah. Right off the bat, you get rid of the Gideon, absolutely. We got a Terramander. Not too bad right now. But it can get, if opponent gets instant and sorceries in that graveyard, it's going to get better. And, well, there you go. It's a little more powerful now. Although, the flip side of that coin is our opponent just 2-for-1 themselves. So, Kaya is going to be really relevant here in a second. But we got to get the land to support her first. Counter target spell. Yeah, counter target spell. And there's Cry of the Carnarium, so that won't deal with Terramanda, unfortunately. That's Kaya's job. But we got to get the land first. So Jace's Sentinel, alright. Yep. I'm going to take a little damage here, but it's alright. It's alright for now. It won't be here in a second, though. We gotta get that third land. Good news is most of our stuff has 3 costs, so... Yeah, so if you just joined Arena, and that gets countered, just joined Arena, they changed the XP system. Shout outs to Desolator Magic, my friend sometimes, my foe other times, for pointing it out. And man, that third land is not coming. This is starting to get bad. If Terramander levels up, this is gonna hurt, and it's going to be the comeback of the century. Another Chemist's Insight, which is fine. They draw 2, but it bled they didn't get it twice. So, okay. So this is where we need the land. Thank you. Now we can do things. Kaya, get in there, girl. I need you doing things. Get rid of that Terramander. Terramander's been out long enough. Alright. And she'll survive the swing unless Jace's Sentinel gets upon. Okay, more cards. More cards. Alright. I think we finally start rolling. Alright, and take 1. Survives it. So, I was catching up on, catching up on, stuff from Magic. Besides that, there's a few promo codes that, again, Desolator Magic pointed out. And I'll let y'all know about that here in a little bit. We're going to punch those codes in and get some free stuff. But for right now, we got to deal... The pressure's still on. The heat is on, I guess you could say. That's too dangerous. You gotta set him back a turn. Can't let him get extra turns, even though it's a 1-for-1 with a Carnarium, and that's not the greatest ever. I'd rather deal with it that way. And there's Nezahal. Yep. That will have to get dealt with.
How dare you?
That will have to get dealt with. Alright. So, Teferi, deal with it. Yeah, I hear you, because that's a Nezahal and I don't like it.
Might be a bad idea.
Yeah, well, if I had more land, it wouldn't be a bad idea, but... Yeah, this is not the way I want to start the game, guys. Not the way I want to start it at all. At least we can deny them getting to use Chemist's Insight twice. And they're going to recast it. Of course they are. Thankfully, we might have outs. Yeah, security dies. That's the price I pay. LeBron got brought out without much of a team around him, and that's what happens. So, God, we got to put that in tapped. It doesn't sound good. And all he gets is spell swindle. Literally, our opponent wins here because I can't. I mean, that's 8 damage directly. We're going to go ahead and skip it. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen and kids, that I got to start this setting. This session, I should say. Setting. It is a setting. It's a setting of pain. Sorry, I have to start this session with a loss, but you know what? The way I feel, we're getting the one loss out of the way, and now we'll streak. We're going to do the streak. Let's hear it. Esper Super Friends, you ain't going to let me down 2 games in a row, are you? No, that was a very rough game, though. I mean, getting lane screwed a couple turns in a row, that was a difference. Big difference. Because I could have counterspelled Beneza Hall had I had the mana a couple turns earlier. Would have been in prime position to do it. Anyway, Kedden Wolf. In a get a 2-mana situation, but I like the hand a lot better. Search for his camp is going to help us filter out that land screw. And there's a Kai's Wrath. Yeah. So we basically have everything we want in our hand right now. And Ashiok this early is... I don't tend to like Ashiok really early because, I got to be able to protect her, basically. Okay. And there's a card that's going to deal 1 damage, and that's all the utility it gets. It'll stop the wall from milling, but that's it. And that I'm not too particularly worried about. What we want to stop is Resplendent Angel. And there's wall, and we're actually going to put the wall down because we can't. Because 1 damage is not something I'm worried about, and the wall is not effective right now. It literally can't do the one thing it does. But that's fine. I could think of a lot worse things to have to deal with that Kali Honor Guard in this deck. Cleansing Nova we'll put down because we already have a board wipe. They're 2 mana. I don't need to... Yeah, let's play Search for Riscantic. We don't need a Thought Erasure right now. They're not going to be able to cast anything on this turn that I have observed at the moment. And that's literally it. So, Watery Grave, absolutely. Let's get more lands. Let's put it in tapped. And we're actually going to... hold here. I'm going to play Ashiok here. And the reason I'm doing it is because I'm looking at the board. They're going to play War Leader. We're going to Kaya's Wrath. They're going to play another War Leader. We're going to Eldritch Reborn. So basically, we're going to set it up so that they burn both their War Leaders. Obviously, Ceres Guardian is a 5/5, but you should be able to deal with it by then. So, yeah, then they play Angel of Vitality, so put it in the Librarian. Let's Kai's Wrath the board, I guess. Yeah. Oh, man, 3 Leon and Warley, that's good. We're going to get rid of Ceres Guardian. And, Fury sounds great. Reset the Ashiok. Let's play Narset. Because we need to dig out some more board wipe. We need to dig out that one. Eldritch Reborn's perfect. There we go. So now we've got just what we want set up. Might as well mill him because we're going to lose her anyway. And they lose a Gideon off that. That sounds groovy. Lose a Gideon off that. Great stuff. looking at that card, which is rough right now. That's get rid of all the multicolor permanents, and yeah, they didn't play it because they basically can take the cards out now. Narset's going to be able to get in once, and we're going to graveyard that. So, yeah, we get that. That's actually a little bit better land. And we'll go ahead and lose Narset now. But we get another card off of it. And Othakaya sounds great. Not going to use it right now, though, because we're going to Kaya's Wrath. Clear the board. We got 2 Eldest Reborns to take out their 2 cards up here. Yep. Play the War Leader, you're going to lose it. Well, Lost Thoughts. Now we will grab them because Kali is not on the board to stop their mill effect. Yeah, let's play that, and we've got enough mana left over to play the Wall. So you lose the War Leader. The Wall mills you some more cards. The engine is running now. The engine is right now. Our opponent has to now respond. Somehow come back. Because everything's in place that I want in place. So they're going to play another one. They're going to be down to 1 card after this. So, and there's no multicolor permanents on the board, so that card right there is useless the moment they pitch it. So, I mean, our opponent's playing smart. I'm not going to discredit them. They are playing the best they can play at this moment. They're just, the engine is on. The heat is on. The opponent has 1 card that they will lose if they don't cast it. And they do cast it. So, tokens, but we got to Cry the Carnarium. So, literally, we have this game locked down. At this point, we bring back... I don't care about your graveyard. We bring back Ashiok. I may care about the board next turn. I may not bring Narset back. But yeah, Ground Catacomb, Cry the Carnarium. Now you have no board presence, period, and no hand. This game is pretty much locked. We're going to save that for later. At the end of my opponent's turn, we'll go digging for some resources. And there's the one thing I need to see gone. Anytime I see an Immortal Sun, that is burn it, kill it with fire. Kill it with fire. I do not want to see that card. Immortal Sun is one of those few cards that could screw this deck up really bad. Gives our opponent everything to kind of stack extra cards, kills all the planeswalkers, be able to do anything, and we're going to decline, actually. I don't want that. We want that. So now, do we grab Nurse? Well, we actually have to grab Narset, yeah. Because we exiled our opponent's graveyard. There's Narset. Let's go get some cards. Tip Fury sounds great right now. Yeah. Go up to Fury. Let's exile our opponent's deck. The one bad part about Ashiok is you have very little time to actually see what you just got rid of. Because that would be useful information to see what your opponent has. And as you can see there, we have the mana for Absorb, so we got that covered. And now we'll just draw cards. Even if we didn't, we'd be able to do it with Takuri's abilities. So. There's a temple, let's play it. Let's play it. And Ground Catacomb, we'll put that on the bottom. We don't need more land at this point, guys. And, yeah, just pass the turn, untap some land, and we're going to untap those because if our opponent doesn't cast anything, we can reuse the land to search our deck again. And Queen's Commission, yeah, we're going to resolve it. I'm not concerned about 2 tokens on their own. Alright, let's go dig. Yep, let's get another counterspell. So they know about one of them. Tap. card.
Let's skip to the food.
Yeah. A third counterspell. So, I'd like to say our opponent has no chance in hell. There's our fourth. So we now have our playset in hand. The opponent has no chance. I'm going to just call it. They're playing a color that has no creatures that say cannot be countered. They have nothing in there. They're playing mono white, so they have nothing in white that says this can't be countered. They basically have no chance. If this was poker, their hand is 0%. There's Kaya, so yeah. And we'll play Kaya because we can, because we'll untap 2 lands off the Fury and still have counterspell.
I like a good fight.
And now we'll just exile nothing. We get her pumped up to where she could kill our opponent off of exile cards. So, again, untap that land because we want to make sure that we can use it in case our opponent doesn't cast a spell. You have exactly the mana to do that if that comes to it. But, yeah. But anything gets countered otherwise. And Immortal Sun especially, so. Yeah, they scooped because I was literally their ace in the hole. That was their one chance to stop the shenanigans. Alright, so 1 win, 1 loss today so far. Let's double up on the wins right now, and there we go. 250 more XP. We're really close to getting another pack. Let's take a break for a moment, and we're going to put in those codes. So we have 3 codes: level up, brought back, and play M20. And I'm going to try to remember that so I don't have to go back to my sheet. Okay, so let's do it. Level up and brought back should give us XP, and then play M20 gets us packs. And again, shout out to Desolator Magic for revealing the codes. Thank you so much, brother. I know you don't like my deck, Esper Super Friends, and so I say anytime you want to play against me, go for it. I offer the challenge. But that said, man, you fire those codes up as soon as they come out. You let the people know, and I appreciate that. So check out Desolator Magic, man. Check out his channel. He shoots in the hip, tells it like it is. You can like and dislike him, his opinions on Arena, but he keeps it 100, man. He says exactly what he's on his mind about things. And so I appreciate him a lot for that, and there's the code. Oh, and you actually get packs off this too. Okay, so you get XP and packs. That makes it even better. So, brought back. And again, XP and packs. I like it. So, now we'll put in play M20. I'm capitalizing just in case it's cap sensitive. Okay, so maybe not cap sensitive. That. So 3 more. So we just got 5 packs of Core M20. Yeah. Open them up. Alright, Drums and Dreams. I'm not really looking for anything specific, but I wouldn't mind cards that are elementals just because I do have an elemental deck built. Lane Line of Anticipation. Alright. I bought 50 packs of M20 on here, so I've got pretty much everything that I need for my decks. But I certainly don't mind, especially don't mind getting mythic rare wild cards. Because you never know. I love to build other decks, not just the deck I rank up with, but I also love to build other decks. So there's Leyline. And 1 more pack. I'm looking for something I haven't seen yet, like. Okay, yeah. Scrylands, I definitely know. I don't have all the Scrylands yet, I don't think. I might be missing 1 or 2 still. Alright, and level 15, we 500 XP, so we need 2 more wins, essentially. And let's look at our flow chart real quick. So, yeah, we'll get another pack at 16, another pack at 18, another Mastery Orb at 19. And Mastery Orbs let you get foil versions of certain cards. So what the foil version I want is Omnath. So that's what we're working towards. We're gonna get boom, 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 boom. We need 4 orbs, and I will eventually buy. The Mastery Pass as soon as possible. I'm waiting on some money to come in today or tomorrow, but I will buy that because those rewards are too sweet. They did too sweet. Yeah. Shout outs to the NWO. I do that, but I also do that because I love Baby Metal. And y'all check out Baby Metal. They just came out with a new single, Poo Poo Ya. And, or not Poo Poo Ya, Papa Ya. Yeah. Because I guess the song is about paying tribute to the fruit. So, awesome. And they are going to have a new album out in October called Metal Universe. I believe that's it. Don't quote me. I believe it's called Metal Universe. But it will be out in October, and they're taking pre-orders. So there's my plug for the session today. Baby Metal's new album. Go pre-order it. If it's anything like the first 2 albums, which I own, well worth the money. But back to Esper Super Friends. Let's get 2 more wins so we can play something else today. Alright. We see the ley line in the background. Who's up? Roops? I guess you pronounce it. I want to say rupees, but Roops. And that is probably one of the worst hands I've seen for this deck. Come on, deck. That is going to be slow as hell. But I really don't want to go down to 5. I got the Kaya, so I'm going to put the cleansing right now. I believe in the power of drawing my 3rd land, and power did not disappoint. So there we go. At least we can cast one of our cards in hand, and by the time we get to turn 4, we should have a 4th land. If anything, this might be good because our opponent will drop creatures, especially in green and blue. And so then that will facilitate us being able to wipe the board. And have Narset, so we have 2 plays. Yeah, and they're going, I believe, Elementals because of Risen Reef. What other deck did you play that in? Drown Catacomb goes in. We're going to play Thought Erasure. I want to see what they got. Plus, I want to make sure I get a land off the top again. Bye. I can deal with creatures just fine. Temple Silence, yeah. We can wait a turn. But yeah, Nissu Shakes the World. That has to go. Get out of here. Alright, so they're going to play another Risen Reef. Which is fine. I mean, this, honestly, if I get a Cry of the Carnarian, that'd be perfect. Don't even want a Kai's Wrath. I just want to Cry of the Carnarian at this point. But, well, now, yeah, they're loading up. And again, that's just fine. That's fine by me. Feed the board more so I can just wipe it. Because I don't care about the damage. Anybody that's seen me play this deck, I don't care about the damage. Unless it's lethal. And there's our 5th land. So yeah, we're loading up on the lands. And because we can't board wipe right now, let's play Narset. We're going to lose Narset, which is just fine. We will get Narset back if we need it. But we're loading up our hand again. So let's get Absorb. we'll get that land back, so I don't mind doing that. We'll get that land back. That might be something you watching the question is like, well, you just scried up a land. Why would you do that? Yeah, that is one reason. It keeps our opponent from drawing cards. And of course, they kill another 6, but that's fine. That's exactly what we wanted to happen. Because again, our opponent has loaded up their board, and they're about to lose their entire board. Unless they're playing a counterspell that I'm aware of. And they did only 2 damage to me. And there's Nissa. But that's fine, we've got Eldritch Reborn as a backup if we get the land. That being the key thing. Oh, well, this might actually be bad. Yeah, they recovered pretty quick. Yeah, and there's a 3/3 with haste, so, and they're just, they are just, the card draw is really helping them do that too. But we're going to get rid of that land. And Bond of Flourish, and yeah, this is crazy. I haven't seen like this version of Elementals before, but this is really good actually. There's so much card draw, so yeah. I've not seen this deck before. I didn't realize the card draw was that crazy. Like, obviously, Narce it out would have stopped some of this, but I mean, with this much aggro, I already stop it. I actually need another guy's Wrath. And I have a feeling I'm not going to top deck it. That is nuts. Just basically, it's basically very, very aggro. Yeah, I get a wall. I get a wall of lost thoughts. This might be something I just screwed. Oh, and they got the Jumpstart copy card, so, and Spark Doubles, yeah. So this literally was just copy Cloudkin Seers. I gotta respect that. As someone who's played Magic for almost 24 years, I appreciate getting to see brand new decks, just brand new concepts. As far as the copy everything, I do that myself, but in my case I use the Johnny Primate. And that actually, speaking earlier of cards that I could use for other decks, mythic cards, I actually do need the Ajani that makes Primates. So after this game, depending on how it goes, we'll go take care of that. And that will actually be the deck we play today for our casuals. We'll play some Johnny Primate. That said, we gotta win 3. So, I don't. Obviously, we're going back and forth today with the wins and losses. I don't. Not gonna hold my feet to the fire as far as ranking up again. But certainly we're going to get 3 wins before we move on. Esper's got to do his job. Like I said, that deck was so unique as far as what I'd seen in Arena previously that, shout outs, man. I love the concept. And though I'm not going to build it because I'm already doing the same thing with Primate, it certainly is a match I'm going to look again. I'm going to look over again just to see if maybe I can improve the way. Like, try to get those quadruplicates in the deck somehow. Because I wasn't playing them before just because of lack of room, but at the same time, I might just go over 60 cards just so I can improve them. And it would be counter mill, so it works in that respect too. And they're playing a giant Primate, so yeah, we're going to have to wipe the board with some. Well, there you go. I was gonna say gonna wipe the board, but now they got a Kai's Ghost Form, so yeah. Kai's Ghost Form is so good in decks like this. Yeah, but let's go ahead and get rid of Primate while we can. They're gonna get it back, but yeah, that's okay. That's okay, because hopefully we're going to be able to just wipe the board again. This might actually work in our favor if they can, if they feel like committing more cards. And they don't. So we're going to hold to 2 for now. So gain life. Are you going to play anything on this turn? White black. You certainly got a lot of life gain options in white black. I mean, yeah. And there's our land, although it's not the one we need. We need another white source. That said, any land we get is going to help because of Eldritch Reborn. Certainly, we don't mind blocking with the wall. So they'll get it to 4 probably, maybe higher, but we got the wall. And they're going to... Okay, so that's going to get countered because we need to be able to block here. And the good news is they paid life for that, so they lost 5 life to get nothing. I'm totally fine with that. Okay, so committing more cards to the board. Yeah, I'm going to lose 1 life because of this, but that's well worth it if I can just wipe the board. And considering how low the cards they are right now, that actually might be a good thing. Okay, so again, we're waiting on land. We're not in a bad way right now. It's going to hurt, but we'll survive, and it's not terrible. That said, we better get a land drop next turn. And preferably a white source. So yeah, they're going to proliferate. That's going to jump the Primate up. And we are going to block that 5. And we take 5. And this is get the land now. We need a land right now. And we don't get it. Okay. We can survive 1 more turn. But seriously, that land needs to pop up. Good news is we got rid of another Primate in their graveyard. So probably not going to see that threat again. The good news about Primate is it doesn't have trample. And opponent isn't playing the colors to be able to get it trample. So we can chump block that Primate. That said, though, that's another 5 at least with no blocks. So we either get the land, we either top deck the land at this point on our turn, or we lose. And there's welcome, so it's going to make Primate even worse. Yeah, try to get Arena to work right now. We have to block that. And we gotta pray for a land drop. And the thing is, we need a white source. And we didn't get it. So I'm just gonna skip it. Esper Super Friends, you're letting me down today. You're not, and what you do, too. Like, that's not a case of I don't have the cards I need, that's a case of just didn't get the land. Any white source would have done it. I had 2 board wipes on deck. Just needed the land to hit. That happens. You're going to lose games like that. Just no matter how well you construct your deck, you're going to lose games where the land just does not show up. And as you noticed in that game, I had no scry options that came up, so there was no way to get a land to come up to the top. Now, this is okay. It's not great. Anyway, Zookeeper. I like that. I like that name actually. It reminds me of this. I have a feeling this person loved Cartoon Network back in the day, i.e., cartoons. Um, you know, that might be what they're going for here, or something like Mojo Jojo or something like that. In any case, good stuff. Got no turn twos, so let's put that in tapped. They have a Storm Tamer. So they're trying to basically prevent me from messing with them. That said, they just tapped out, which means they're not going to protect that Storm Tamer now. So, no. Let's play that. No, let's play that. Let's play that. Arena has really trouble sometimes being too touchy-feely with their cards. You can't get them to do what you want to do. Anyway, this is the time. Good work. Caught them when they couldn't stop that. And that said, they do have that out, so any of their flyers that come in are going to be a little better than they were. Flying Tribal is definitely an idea. With all the stuff that came out in the new set, that would be a deck I would try. That would be right up my wheelhouse to try that deck. So you might see it. I'll never say never as far as building decks. I'll try anything one time. Now here's the big question: do we go that, or do we save for the counterspell? I frankly think we save for the counterspell because we got 5 lands. Yeah. So really, there's nothing I need to scry for at this moment. And we have an Oath to Fury, which means we'll get Kaya back, which means we blow up the another Storm Tamer possibly. The only price we pay right now is we take a little damage. So, Oath to Fury. Let's see if our opponent has counterspells. They do not. And I can tell because of the way it hits suddenly that the opponent is not sitting on them. They just don't have them. They're not sitting on them because of how quickly that happens. So there we go. Pops back in. We kill another Storm Tamer. They can certainly counter that ability. And they chose not to. I'm not sure if countering the ability would stop me from gaining life. It's certainly possible, and I wouldn't argue against it. It would certainly make sense because of the fact that the two abilities are not separated. They're one ability and all. That said, this is the time when the turnaround happens right here. This right here. So this is when we get to start going to town. They're low on land, and now we get to basically screw with their ability to play stuff. They're not going to hit Sarah Angel, they're not going to hit Sarah's Guardian, they might hit Shalai. I can deal with Healer's Hawk. You know what, we're actually going to hit the Healer's Hawk. And y'all might think that's dumbass, but I have my reasons. The reason being is that I don't want them being able to play, let's say, Shalai and then another creature, and suddenly I can't do. And suddenly they sack the Shalai instead of they sack the bird instead of the Shalai. So that's going to the graveyard. We don't need more land at this point. We need something like that, yeah. So in case they somehow token out. I don't believe they're going to, but who knows. Anyway, bye-bye. And, again, regardless of what creature they play, we're covered. They could go 5, they'd have Shalai up. Okay, so they could cast anything. Which is where they go for. Okay, they're going for Sarah Angel. And we'll put that in the library. And now they just go card. What are we going for? We go for the cheap one. Yeah. Which is what I would do. So, again, we're going to make him sack. And, yeah, there we go. Shall I? Yeah. Graveyard. And there's another Kai's Wrath. I love it. They just will not be able to keep creatures down this game. So, we're actually going to play their Sunwing. Yeah. And they got rid of the Rally the Winds, which would have been horrible if they could keep creatures down. Actually going to try to bait them into playing 2 for 1 here. We're going to try to get them to play both of their flyers. So, yeah, we're going to resolve it. We're going to block their Shalai, and then we're going to wipe the board. Block the Shalai. And wipe. So. Nope, graveyard, because they have no cards. There's no point in doing that. So now, what do we want? We gotta play a creature, unfortunately. Yeah, we'll play Kinjali again. It's not terrible. We'll just wipe the board. In this case, at least we're getting a life out of it. So there we go. Board wipe. They have no cards. They will get to play whatever they get to play. This turn though. If they top deck creature, they'll get the creature, but we got it covered. Suppose they could play non-creatures. Graveyard. We really don't need more land. And there we go. Transform it, so now we can get rid of that stuff. And we're covered creature-wise. Nothing we can play at instant speed. We're going to go ahead and do. I like Kai here, actually. So, we'll save her for next turn. You got 1 counter spell up, so if you play anything big, you're losing. If you play a creature, don't care, I'll just wipe it. We only want to stop non-creatures at this point. Alright. Zookeeper, tell me what you got. Tell me what you're thinking. I know what I would be thinking. Okay, Guy's Blessing. We're going to counter that. I don't want you getting... Yeah, you don't get to have your cards back. Nope. Nope. I respect the play, though. I respect one. I respect... Anybody plays a Guy's Blessing, I respect it. Because, absolutely. But now we win. And I'm just going to play the Kaya right now, because, yeah, it's time to, bring out the Sisters of Destruction, as I call them. Shout outs to Kane and the Undertaker, the Brothers of Destruction, but Kaya Ashiok for me is the Sisters of Destruction. And obviously, just like Kane and the Undertaker, they're not real sisters. But that's what I call them. That said, it said, let me put up a disclaimer real quick, because, because I don't know the Magic lore regarding Ashiok as well as I maybe should, considering my life experience. Shout out, for those who don't know, I am a gay man, so... that said, I've heard rumors that Ashiok is actually non-binary, and not certain of the pronouns that Ashiok uses, story-wise. I should read up on that, because I don't want to essentially offend anyone who's transgender or non-binary because I didn't use the right pronouns. And I hear the PC, non-PC debate all the time about, oh, people are too sensitive. But look, man, if you care about people, it's really easy to just respect their wishes. So I'm going to actually read up on that. I want to, I don't think, that might actually change whether I call them the Sisters of Destruction. Anyway, that's 18 damage. I'm willing to cash it in. Because Othakaya. That's why. So, I've essentially soft locked them to where they cannot attack with creatures. Is what I've done. And we're going to play a creature. There's Absorb. So, they play a creature, I'll actually let them swing with it. Because death. As soon as they swing with a creature, they lose the game. At this point, if I was staring this down, I would scoop. You have absolutely, again, this is a 100% lock. My opponent has no way to get in. If they, outside of playing 2 non-creature spells, they don't play shock. They don't play anything to damage planeswalkers. They have no out. At this point, I'm going to simply build up and do it again. Submit 0. I'm at 44 life. I don't need to gain life.
Was that due to you?
I'm going to play Narset, and we will obviously do Kai again, and we will double Narset. So I'm going to get 2 more cards, be at 6 cards in hand, and then submit 0.
Pack your bags and take a look.
Yeah. Kaya, you tell him. And that's the thing, too. I love Kaya and Ashiok's language in this game. Especially Kaya, man. She's... when I look at her, like, I always like to look at different characters and imagine, like, what they look like compared to, like, real people that I have a lot of respect for. And past turn. For example, the original Teferi art, I said, man, that looks like Michael Jordan. The earrings, the bald head, tall. When I look at Teferi now, he looks a lot more like LeBron James. That's a cleansing. We're not going to let that resolve. Why do you think that gets resolved, friend? So, yeah. Teferi now looks like LeBron James, and I say that with the utmost respect for LeBron James. I love that guy. He's awesome. I'm not so certain he's the GOAT. I've watched enough Shannon and Sharp to not say 100% he's the GOAT. But man, you gotta love LeBron James. Like he's a great player. As far as other cards, when I look at Kaya, I see Kaya. Let's play Teferi. We'll get to Kaya in a second. Right now, we gotta do Teferi things.
Hurry!
Draw more cards.
Hold that thought.
Trying to get another Garage Spell, actually. Just play a land, and we'll put it untapped. We've got all the mana in the world. We're actually going to play Teferi Time Raveler. Let's go for it.
Right on skate.
And we're actually going to... Oh, no. Thank goodness. I almost returned something back to my hand. I mean, with Ota Teferi, that wouldn't be a bad idea. To do that and then get Narset back. Anyway. So, on my opponent's turn, we'll discuss Kaya. So, Kaya right here. What does she look like to me? What does she represent? Anybody that's a fan of Rammstein... Anybody that's a fan of Rammstein and got to see the Deutschland video, there's all That looks to me a lot like just as far as the resolve it, resolve everything. You're not stopping me, okay? Yeah. Yeah. Kaya's Wrath. So she looks like Ruby Komen or Comey. She looks like Ruby Comey, which was the lady that played Germania in that music video. The other Kaya looks like Pam Grier, straight out of '80s blaxploitation films, and Jackie Brown, and I love that Quentin Tarantino movie. But yeah, long story short, she looks awesome in both cases. We'll get to Narset here in a second.
You know what?
But I do love that. I love and respect Pam Grier. I love Rumi Comey. That was she's. I looked up her Wikipedia page on the German Wikipedia. She's great. She's born in Berlin in '92. Great career. A lot of respect for her, and that's why it fits the video so much. Is because she's born in the generation after all of the events that Rammstein is describing in the video. She's the one that's looking at German history after the fact. And what does it mean for her now? What does she do with it? Does she love her country? Does she hate her country for things that she wasn't, around to see, firsthand experience? That's a big debate. That's why it's so powerful. But anyway, we're gonna finish the game. Who does Narset look like? Real quick, as we finish this game. We'll get back to that. I don't actually. Let's be completely 100% completely honest. I don't really have a boom, bam, right up front thing for Narset. What she looks like. Maybe that's something I could hear from you guys about in the comments. What does Narset look like to you as far as someone in real or fictional life? That she reminds you of. Like I said, Kaya to me and both of her arts. One looks like Ruby Comey in the armor, in the Deutschland music video. The other one version looks like Pam Grier in one of her awesome movies. Anytime she's kicking ass, which is, I'd say 100% of the time, that's her. Pam freaking Grier. I suppose Dovin would, in this one, it looks like a thinner Thanos. A Thanos that went on a diet. Yeah, I don't want it to sound like I'm really stretching the analogies, but I just find it fun. I like to look the artwork of a person and think, who does it remind you of? Who's the lady you remind me of in Thought Erasure? She looks like someone that would fit right in on just because of her posture and her look, the code and the shirt combo, or whatever clothing term you call that. I'm not a fashionista. She looks a lot like someone to be right at home on the Normandy. She'd look right home on the Mass Effect ship. In fact, you know what? I'd almost say that's Commander Fem Shepard, just being casual. Like she just learned how to use magic or something, and she's playing around with it. Shout outs to Mass Effect. I love that series. Garrus is my husband for life. If we ever go to other planets and I find out the Turians exist and Garrus is among them, I will lose my shit. Quite frankly, I love me some Garrus. And undare set. That is just the perfect amount of dorkiness in one suave individual. I got that Garrus could get rid of that stage. Garrus could definitely play James Bond in like the Turian version of James Bond. He has a license to be starred. Alright, Gutter Snipe, and I'm sure they're going to follow that up with a spell. That's exactly what I want him to do. I'm going to take 2 damage either way. I might as well make him burn a card first. The way I see it. Yeah. So, yeah, I take some damage, but the thing is, I was going to anyway. So, at least we make him burn a card out of it. And they're going to pop Steer the Critics, and I don't blame them. That's another 5. So we really have to buckle down here. And the good news is we can. Because we can play Wall of Lost Slots, and then we can also have Doman's Veto up. It's going to hurt, but we're going to get through it. And a couple of cards got a Goblin Chain Whirler. Yeah. Getting rid of that's pretty big. That's Wall of Lost Thoughts. And we're going to block a Lightning Strike here. They're going to try to kill the wall, and they're going to try to run amok, and they're going to fail. So there we go. We take 2, but we stop them from killing that wall for the moment. And now we're at 5, and now we get to do fun things. And the fun thing we get to do is get that Ghost Snipe off the board. I do not want to see you. You are ugly. Get off my board. So they can deal, and they play another, but we make them commit to it. And I got the Fury to back me up on that too. So let's play to Fury. We're gonna make you bounce again. Now what am I hoping to get on right here? Counter spell. I need an absorb in the worst way. We don't get that, but we get Dovin's Veto, which is almost as good.
No time for a break.
Draw a card. Not what I needed, but we're slowing them down. We're certainly slowing them down. Obviously, they could double Lightning Strike, but at least one of them will get stopped. They're going to Lightning Strike, and they're going after that, so let's counter it. Yep. No, sir. No, sir, madam. And their name's Pat. Oh, they scooped. Their name's Pat. I would say that's a famous SNL movie about someone who is gender fluid. Done in a very horrible way. Make that real clear. Bold, italicized, underline that. It's Pat would not fly today. The concept itself is fine, but it would have to be done the right way. The back when, that was not the right way. Let's see what we get. Field it. Ooh, nice. I probably don't have one of those. So Field of the Dead, certainly. Alright, so we promised the fun deck. We are going to play the fun deck. But first, we have to edit the fun deck. Johnny Army, and we need to get the Johnny that we need for this deck. Question is, how many of them do we play? So let's see here. How many do we play? Well, a Johnny. So there's the one we're talking about. -2 to make Johnny's primary. And we don't play Wise Counselor. strength of the pride. So, essentially, curious obsession, go away. Because we are going to play one mythic. We have one mythic there. So that's it. We play one. And we play versus the Tyrants. Just so that way we've got a different version of the Johnny out there. And as far as what else, I suppose we'll put back Curious Obsession, but now only to Raven 4, which is a lot healthier. In any case, that is it. That's all. Yeah, you gotta craft your cards before you're allowed to continue. So, alright, now we're good. So yeah, we are going to play some of Johnny's Army for a couple of games, and that will be session. But we got to play the fun deck. We got to play some fun decks after winning, going back and forth with Esper. Super friends. Reach in here. I probably just blocked the camera with my hand. Apologies. Get some coffee. I need to ask fearless leader Tommy Gaddy how to make coffee in this house. He has this very unique device to make coffee, and I am not familiar. So that's something I will definitely try to get educated on or experienced on shortly. Let's play Found the Renewal, actually. Start out. Well, we'll save Leon and Vanguard for a turn when we can play two creatures at once. And yeah, that's exactly why we did it. We would have just lost the Vanguard on turn 1. And the life gain's going to be real critical here against this deck. And there's two, so yeah. The Johnny's Pride Knight. Let's force them to have to kill it. You kill it on turn 2 or poo-poo. And then a scrap. Yeah, they're playing a void. So, yeah. You better burn it. And they don't burn it. Don't burn it. So we'll take 2 damage from the Firebrand, but yeah, not worried, because that is going to basically gain us back up. And Johnny's going to get bigger. Yep, Johnny's going to get bigger. We have no idea. We're going to put that in tapped because we don't need it right now. What we need is a Giant Pride Mate needs his friends. His warriors. And that's the thing, that's his, newsflash to the Animal Kingdom, and gotta kill one of them and don't blame my opponent at all. Because that stops the more life gain. And it also keeps the Giant's Pride Mate within reach of a burn spell. 2 Leo Vanguards would have pumped it to 5/5, and then it would have been almost out of kill range for red. Might still be. Gets to 4. We're going to mirror image there, Johnny Pride Mate. Double triggers, and we're not going to swing Vanguard because they can double block. A 5/5 is big enough for them to deal with. Yeah. But yeah, newsflash if you don't know, yeah, the ladies of the Lion Kingdom are the ones that hunt. The men don't do that so much. And so yeah, gonna kill the smaller Pride Knight. Again, no blame at all. Smart move. And we're going to take some damage, but we're gaining life, so we're going to do it. No blocks. We're going to have 17, and we'll just gain some life back. But up to a 6/6, and we play another. And again, perfect scenario. We're playing a Giant's Pride Meat, we're playing a Fountain of Renewal. Our opponent is, if they are not on tilt already, they are going to be. There we go. 7 and 3. Swing in with the Primate. You block the veteran, or you're taking 7. They take 7. Alright. I guess they could come back in this game somehow. I don't see it, but you never know. If we get that Giant Strength of Pride down, that is going to be it. Doesn't, and they play Goblin Banner. Okay. Make the Investigators bigger. And another. So yeah, they're going. Their only chance is to get it all in one shot. They really have to get it all in one shot here. I just don't see it. They could swing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They can get 6 damage here. That's, I mean, 10 damage you count the veteran. Okay, so yeah. That'll be 5. This one will be 5. That one will be 9. Yep, 5 and 9, which is going to outpace anything they have, although they can double block that 5, and there we go. There we go. Pay 2 life. Yes. Johnny, Strength of the Pride.
I protect those who cannot protect themselves.
And we are gonna read a turn. Another Pride Knight. And pump them up again. And swing the 6, swing the 10. Hold the other 2 back. Those 2 are going to block if I have to block. They're going to jump block the Primate. They're going to double block the other one. Or triple block, I should say. Actually, they could just double block and pump the banner up. Which is what they're going to do. That's a smart play. Very smart play. Should be able to kill both, so we're just going to switch it to the veteran first. Yeah. Dead and dead. Making my opponent 2 for 1 is definitely not a bad idea. Now they only have Investigator, which is not getting through. Outside of them shooting that 3/3. Okay, they're going to play Goblin Gathering. Alright. They can keep blockers on board, that's for certain. And at this point, we might kill our Fountains of Renewal just to draw cards. Yeah. Alright, so again, boom, 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 just, yeah. And let's trade another 2/2. Let's actually create another Vanguard. Don't need some more Pride Mates as much as I just need triggers. Just boom, boom, boom. And because the fact I have another Vanguard, I will swing with the Vanguard. You now have to triple block or you lose, or you have to block everything or you don't have to block the Vanguard, I suppose. But you have to block the others. puts them at 3. And I understand why they want to keep one creature down. My opponent needs to scoop at this point. Debbie Dragon, you need to scoop. You're not coming back. You can deal 2 damage to one of my vanguards. And that's what you do. Alright, respect it. It's not enough, but I respect it. Because I'll just swing in with cats. Oh, yeah, well, yeah, get rid of Johnny. Alright. And we'll block with Investigator because you have no cards. We'll block the Investigator. So, yeah, you have no cards. Yeah, good game. Triggers for days. Triggers for days. Spark double, we're going to save it, and I'm going to just draw cards. Play it out. Yeah. And now we go in. So we'll just swing in the 2 biggest cats, hold the other 2, and good game. Negative 24 damage. Sounds rough, buddy. Hey, those cats were getting freaky. That was a lot of cats. Alright. And we're keeping the rewards up. The weekly wins, it's going to be up to 15, I believe, just like the cash rewards. So, keep it going. Play another game. Might get a second win here and then get a 3rd win, then that'll be it for the day. This session of Embracing the Journey will be over. Done. Base Taco. I love the names. I love just seeing the names constantly. It's 2 spark doubles. That could be really good or really poo-poo, depending on the situation. I like the land spread, though. I think that the lands will... There's no range. I like the land spread. Let's go in there, pay 2 life. Play renewal because we'll get 1 back. Saving the Vanguard for next turn just to see what's my opponent's going to play. I don't like throwing that Vanguard out there until I know what kind of deck my opponent's playing, so I know what pace to go in at, how aggressive to be. Play Vanguard. And because they're not going to kill it, well, maybe they will. They just dropped the red source. And they might be playing that elemental deck we saw earlier, where they just draw card. This is where it's a little rough, because, I could force them to block, but that's bad for me, actually. Then just hold. We'll hold for now. If they swing and don't put another creature down, then we'll obsession it. But we'd just be 2 for 1 ourselves if we swung. Wild Growth Walker. Yeah, that's good. Wild Growth Walker's good right now. Yep. I can't block it because it's flying. So take a little damage. Not terrible right now. Not a bad deal right now. Because we're gaining it back. We're gaining some of that life back. But Johnny's Welcome? Alright. We'll play Johnny's Welcome. If you're tapped. That will facilitate more life gain for sure. But once we get into Johnny's Bridemaid down, we can pretty much go to town. That kind of hurt though. Anyway, past turn. Yeah, we need to get a Bridemaid down, but once we do, we'll be able to make it happen. We'll be able to ramp it very quickly. Yep, explore. Dismiss. A similar deck's being played. Because Walker works very much like a Johnny. You get him buffed up. Play another Founder Renewal. We're going to try to... gain some of this damage back, but it's going to be back very quick. I don't know why. I know why it's delaying it, because I could trigger a Founder Renewal, but... okay, so that's 7 damage, so 5 once you count for the life gain. It's rough. Scar land card, deal 2 negative turns. Yeah. It's supposed to, alright. There's a lot of different versions of this elemental deck that can get made. That's the crazy part. We need a partner in the worst way, and we're not going to do it. Okay, so at this point we have to dig. Hopefully we get a partner. It may not save us though. And no mirror image, so concede it. Yeah. The bad part about, as you can see right here, the bad part about playing a deck with a lot of copy stuff is that if that's all you draw is the copy stuff, you're literally sitting on a dead hand. Hence why we don't play it in ranked. So, 7 8. Actually going to play a different deck. Let's switch to a different deck, and we'll play one game with that different deck. And that will conclude today. Let's play Elementary Watson, which is my version of the Elemental deck. You've seen 2 games today with people playing Elemental decks. Now you get to see mine. And like, dislike, whatever floats your fancy as far as your approval, tell me what you think. We haven't seen Eevee today. Here's Eevee. Eevee, are we going to win this last game? Yep. I'm not hiding the fact that I'm moving the Eevee at all. I am no ventriloquist. As you can see from the deck, my version tends to play the quick stuff. Stormkin, Cloudkin, that works great. Stormkin plus Curious Obsession. I love me some Obsession. Just draw more cards. Okay, and that bodes well, because you're not stopping flyers, and there's a stomping ground, so we'll get our Fame Source. Don't need it too early yet, so we'll just go that. Go Stormkin. Smack our opponent for 2. Yeah, we're going to smack him, Eevee. Whap! Headbutt. Yeah, hit him with a headbutt. And this hurts them because they're having to lose life to get creatures. Alright, Soul Diviner. They're gonna lose life though to get creatures. Sulfur Falls. And choices. Do we play Chandra? I don't think we play Chandra yet just because she's going to die hard when I don't have things to swing with. I think we play Cloudkin Seer. Let's draw more cards. Leafkin Druid. Great. Let's swing in. 2 damage. Facial. Boom. Punch! Yep. Hit him with the Flame Punch. I don't know what moves Eevee can learn. Pound. Hit him with Pound. I'm trying to think of normal moves or Pokemon. Yeah, no blocks. You're at 14, I'm at 19, I'm not worried about your stuff. And there's another. So, my version does the same thing as the other decks, plays a lot of Cloudkin Seers. I just don't copy them. And we're going to play that because we can play Omnath right now. Love me some Omnath. Every version of Omnath. Love it. And that's going to take out our Soul Diviner here that is sitting there wanting to block. And it's gone. Bye-bye. 4 damage. Shout out to David Spade. We are doing the Airplane Receptionist. Bye-bye. Get out of here. Do SS no bueno. And I need to draw some cards for sure. That is, I will say, you know what I'll say now. That is a good strat to be able to take counters off your zombie army in order to draw. I like that. That's a good strat. I think it's too little, too late, but good strat. Good strat. It can work out. We can't just go reckless right now. I say we play Cloud Concealers. Just keep it going. Because the good thing about that is basically I get my effect when they come in, and I can just chump block all day. So here we go. Slap it on Storm King. Draw more cards. Go in. You want to go in with Omnath? No, we're not going to go in with Omnath, I don't think. I think we'll just swing with the Storm King. Save those to block. Save Omnath to block. We'll draw cards. Obviously, when we hit land, that's really good too. We haven't hit any more land. And this is where that Dread Horde is really going to start to hurt. Because, I mean, they're just getting pinged to death. They're going to kill themselves off of it. That's the risk you do when you play those kind of cards, is if you're going to play a card like that, you really have to make sure that you've got solid defense behind it. Otherwise, you're going to end up killing yourself. Although they did gain some life back there. 5/5. I don't think, no. We don't swing right now. We've still got the life advantage, and that's 4 damage on board. That's 7 damage total. Yeah, because that just won the game. I know it's gonna go, asshole. You're like, you go. I'm like, quit. I just dropped Trailblazer, pumped up my elementals. That's death. It's your responsibility to scoop. I'm sorry, you got a little salt in your mouth right now. Anyway, more XP. Up to level 16, halfway to 17, but video is long enough. I want YouTube to be able to process it within a reasonable amount of time, ladies and gentlemen. We did good today, I think. We did good. Anyway, that is it for this episode of Embracing the Journey. Thank you so much for watching. If you can, please support Black Dragon Gaming by liking, subscribing, dinging the bell on their videos. Ding the bell on this one too if you like, and this video will be up on YouTube. This video will be up on the official Black Dragon Gaming Discord under Patreon promotions. And that is it for today. Some wins, some fun, a little bit of salt. All in all, exactly what we want out of Magic Arena. Later, tomato.